Hey, what's up, everybody? How you doing? This is Mecca. The microphone check 1 2 1 2. Boom boom. So, let me tell you guys something. I told you guys, right? I had interviews coming, amazing people that I was going to be speaking to, and this is all in this beautiful space where we're going to have all these amazing speakers at the Visionary Authors Summit. Like if you want to be an author or you thinking about being an author or you already an author, this is a good way to get your author's life like together, like clank, clank together, like on lock. You got me. You got what we hear. You got what I'm saying. You got what I'm saying. So I bring to you the master of ceremony. Like he's amazing. There's so much about him that you guys don't even know yet. For those of you that catch it now and you catch the replay, his presence is like so mellow. But it's so like powerful and impactful, and the knowledge that he brings is like the first time I was able to watch him in action, I was like, man, he's so mellow and he gives so much information. He just made me become mellow, and I'm just like this. Oh, and I start asking him all these questions. See, he may not know that. I was asking him multiple questions. I was asking him about what system to use for podcasts, what this, what that. He was just like breaking down everything. He was giving us links. I was all ready for the information. He don't even know what I was plotting. I'm just gonna, like, before I introduce him, I'm letting him know how amazing he was and the impact that he gave me when it came to me creating my platform, because everybody know Mecca, I'll be ready all the time. I'm ready. But to start a platform where I'm speaking with people, it was a different space. But with him and Audra, it kind of helped me like tap into. Audra told me, be you, be who you are. And this is me, and I can't hide me. And, it feels good to be this way and have people accept it, So, and for Markeith to be able to have him educate me on the podcast and the do's, the don'ts, it really helped me navigate how I want to create my podcast and when I want to create the podcast. He don't even know what he did for me. That did something for me during quarantine, right? See, you don't even know this. I'm just throwing stuff on you. I had to keep that to myself and then pop it out like brow just for you. And I just want to say here, I really appreciate you for the information that you've given, because you didn't hold back. You just was giving it. And I've been saying this a lot lately because it's true, which is being able to impact someone's life and not know it. Being a blessing to someone else, and you don't even know that you're being a blessing because you're being who you are, and it makes a difference, right? It brought life to the idea that I wanted to create, and it answered questions that I needed answers to, and Audra did not know that. You did not know that. But I'm going to tell you who knew that. God, because God knew. I sit down and have come. You see how we talking right now? I talk to God like that. I be going in. I be like, yeah, God. And you know what? The way I am is the way I am, even when I'm talking to God. So he knew what I needed when I needed it and how I needed it. And he brought it in that space. And during quarantine, I was able to learn so much, jot down things, put down a budget for when I was going to purchase it, how I was going to purchase it, and where I was going to go. You provided the information on where to go, what to get. And little by little, I'm setting it up. This is me playing around, stepping into my space. Good. Because of Markeith. He don't even know it. Awesome. And I want to say thank you for sharing your gems with us. And thank you for being at the Visionary Author Summit to do what you do and to bring your beautiful presence on stage, virtual Lee just bringing it, and that's how I met you virtually. The day I get to meet you in person, you're gonna get the, well, I don't know if we're gonna be able to hug each other anymore, but something. But I thank you so much, and I'm gonna introduce. He's gonna tell you a little bit about himself, and well, he's gonna tell you about who he is, what he do. That's the mystery man.
Okay.
Here we go, Markeith. Please let them know about you and who you are and the work that you do.
Well, first, let me thank you for that wonderful testimony. So I'm going to come to you and get that in writing so I can add it to my website. Because you're
I'm
right, I
ready.
didn't even know. But that's the great thing about this business, right? Is that you have a great opportunity to impact lives that you don't even know, and that one day you may be able to hear the testimony. You may be able to hear the story of how you impacted somebody's life for the better. So thank you so much for sharing that with me, and thank you for inviting me on just for a few minutes to kind of share about what I'm going to be doing for the Visionary Authors Summit and really helping individuals. So this is great. But once again, I am Markeith Brayton, personal brand strategist, as well as your podcast host of Maximize Your Brand with Markeith Brayton. And I work with corporate executives and professional service providers on maximizing and monetizing their brand online so they can create a location-free business and live the life they crave.
Yeah.
And the reason why I love doing that is because really, personal branding is more about you. Personal branding is more about your self-confidence. Personal branding, I like to say, is the authentic purpose that you have on full display to the world. I'm going to say that again. Personal branding is your alignment
Ooh,
with the authentic purpose that was given to you, placed on full display to the world.
that's right.
Because
Mm,
the scripture tells us in Matthew to let your light so shine that men shall see your good work.
mm.
And so it's time out for us to be the best kept secret. It's time out for us to keep a bush over our head and hide from people. It's time for us to be on full display to the world,
That's
stepping into our confidence, stepping into our purpose,
right. Mm.
being aligned with what it is that we're called to do so that we can impact lives for the better. And
Sweet.
so that is my philosophy on personal branding. That's my philosophy on how do we really leverage our skills, our abilities, and our purpose to impact our income.
Mm.
And so I'm looking forward to being the MC for the Authors Summit, as well as being able to share on podcasting, which I have shifted a little bit on that perspective, because no longer I think is it good enough just to have a podcast. I think now you should create an entire video podcast show. So I'm going to be talking about really how do we now leverage video podcasting to grow our brand influence and impact.
That just made me so like extra. Oh, did you guys hear that? Like, if you guys did not catch that, that was like some night. But did you see how he like just bring you so much power? But like the way he did it, was just like man, it is. He make you want to relax.
Oh, good.
like,
That's good.
like you make you just like, ooh yeah. But as I'm hearing it,
And that's my whole approach. My whole approach is to grab your attention,
mm,
to make you want to relax to the degree that you want to take in what I'm saying and really
mm,
grab it. A lot of people talk, right? A lot of people, a lot of noise, and
mm,
it goes in one ear and goes out the other.
mhm,
But I want to impact your
mhm,
thought process. I don't
mhm.
want you to just change when I speak. I want you to transform when I speak. Because when you transform, that means that you can't go back to the way you were before I spoke. You can't think the way you thought before I spoke, right? Change is temporary. transformation is eternal. That caterpillar can never go back to being a caterpillar after it becomes a butterfly. And none of us, once we are impacted and once we grab hold of the new knowledge that we have, it should transform the way we think. It should transform the way we act. It should transform the way we speak so that we never go back to our old ways.
I don't know about y'all, but you feel like the presence just coming through like I feel it. I feel it. Yeah. You, you. I'm just gonna say it. I know. You may look at me like this woman here. You are anointed. Like I have to. Like I feel it. Like I really feel it. Like I know it sounds weird, right? Maybe not.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't sound weird. Here's the thing, that the great majority of my life, people would say that, but I never embraced it. I wasn't confident in what it was that I had to offer. I wasn't confident in my own value. I wasn't confident in my own voice. I took for granted my own gifts, which is why I do what I do with other people, is because I took for granted what was naturally mine. That we all have a particular inclination that speaks to the impact and the purpose that we're supposed to have in the world. But what we do over the years, as we mature, as we become adults, we bury the inclination because the world says it should be done this way, it should be this way, this is what you're supposed to do. And then when we become adults, we have to work extremely hard to uncover what we already knew was. See, people are always asking themselves, well, God, what is my purpose? Well, in all actuality, we knew what our purpose was in the beginning, but we buried it under what the world said we should be doing, what the world said we should be using how we should be using our time, what the world said as it pertains to education and all of these things, instead of really focusing our attention on what's the thing that I have the inclination to do. Now, how do I take that thing? How do I take that skill? How do I take that talent? How do I take that ability and create an economic system behind what it is that I know how to naturally do, instead of going to do things that we have to learn how to do and we have to, develop over the years to learn how to do, instead of taking what it is that we do well. And here's the other thing that I've come to understand too, is that too many of us think our purpose is what we do. And so if I were to ask you what your purpose is, a lot of times people will say, well, my purpose is to be a teacher, or my purpose is to be a doctor, or my purpose is to be a preacher. Those are not purposes. Those are things that you do. Your purpose is what comes out of you doing what you do. So if my job is a teacher, then what is the impact that I make as a teacher is really what my purpose is. So as a teacher, as a speaker, my purpose is to really empower and to transform the mindsets of others so that they don't think the same way that they thought before they came in contact with me. The conduit for which I do that is a teacher. The conduit for which I do that is as a speaker or as a coach. Those are conduits, not purposes. The purpose is the impact that is the foundation of what it is that you do.
That's right.
Right? So your purpose is not to be a counselor. Your purpose is to heal.
Oh, bring it. Oh.
The counselor is just the conduit for which you are able to fulfill your purpose.
Speak it. Speak it.
Your purpose is not to be a counselor. Your purpose is to heal. So that's what I have come to the understanding, that sometimes we have to take some time out to not identify what we do as our purpose, but what is the significance or the foundation of what we do that allows us to reveal or to operate in our purpose. So your purpose should help you to identify your job or the work that you're called to do.
Mm.
And when I deal with personal branding, the first step is, my shine process. The first step is to really, identify specifically what it is that you were called to do, to fulfill, to display in the world. And
Mm.
then once we understand that, then we're able to really build on top of that to identify, okay, well, what is the work that will help you to fulfill that purpose?
That just took me somewhere just now. Like when you speaking about the purpose and the healing and I literally I just had this conversation where we were speaking about um your purpose and how I was told my purpose and I didn't even know what my purpose was.
Mm,
Somebody told me.
mm,
So, you know, and this conversation, I feel like I'm keep the conversation keep coming up. I don't know why. Oh Lord, please tell me what's going on right now. So I literally just had a conversation where we were speaking about purpose and how the chaplain that came to tell me about my
mm,
husband being killed in action, uh he told me I had a purpose.
mhm,
And he said, I'm looking for this chaplain. I literally reached out to a chaplain at the military base to get a hold of this chaplain to let him know that I really did these things, and like I can't believe I did it. Like
mhm,
he said to me, God does not create a space where it's meant for you to know what's going to happen, and it's not the way you want it. It's
mm,
the way it's created and how he created your path to be. He
mhm,
said, Mecca. Now I had a relationship with this chaplain because I had a daycare when I was located in Europe. A well credited, nationally credited daycare. And he knew me because I did the retreats for the families,
okay.
and I had to pay people to help me take care of the children. So he knew me as a person, as a worker. He loved my work ethics. We had contracts together. So now for him to come to me to tell me that this happened, really? This, he said to me, God has a purpose for you.
Mhm,
Allow God to use you. It may not happen the way you want it to happen, but it happened the way he created it to happen. Because if this didn't happen the way it did, your path will not be what he created it to be.
yeah.
And you will not be able to help and heal others. He
Mhm,
said, you
mm,
are, let me tell you yes. He said, I still to this day, like go through my head. He said to me, you are going to change lives with your story. You're going to change lives with who you are. You are going to write books that are going to help. Like
yeah.
I hear his voice in the back of my head for so many years. And when I actually accomplish these goals, and the more
Mhm,
I keep seeing stuff, and he kept telling me, you are going to change lives. You're going to do things that you never thought that you would be, but you know God is there. You
mm,
know who God is. And I know you're going to allow him to lead you. And he did it. He said it
mhm,
so mellow, and he was
mhm,
explaining it. But in my head, I'm like, what purpose? Oh, why he had to go take him away and this and this?
mhm,
Because at that time, I wasn't thinking about, well, God got something better for me set up. He didn't leave me where I don't know what's next. I didn't know what's next, but he knew what was going to happen for me.
mhm,
So,
mhm,
and yeah, I didn't want it to happen the way it did, but God set it forth for it to be this way.
right,
I wouldn't be where I am today
right.
if that didn't happen. Not saying that I wanted it to, but
Mhm,
God created that space in that story of my late husband to
mm,
allow his who he was to continue to be honored. So that's where my book came about, Humble Haitian Warrior, to allow people to know about him and
mhm,
who he was as a person and to honor him. And what most people don't understand is, like, most people will say, I could be afraid to speak about it And people say, "Oh, you're still stuck in that space. You're still stuck." I'm not stuck in that space. I'm not.
Mhm.
You know what? I'm happy that God has been showing me what I need to do, how I need to do it, and He's connecting me with people. He's like connecting a puzzle together for me that I don't know what's going to happen next. But I truly believe that God is connecting certain people in my space for a purpose and a reason, because I speak to Him, I ask Him, and He, Lord knows, He provides. And when I'm able to see what He's doing, I'm like, oh God, I'm ready. I'm ready. So He always tell me, be ready. And that's why people don't know. That's why I always say, I'm ready. I'm ready, because of that space. And
Right.
I come to realization is that I used to get judged for speaking about it, because people say, oh, you didn't move on. Oh, you're not living your life. I am living my life. I'm living my life the way God created me to live my life,
Right.
because He didn't say, oh, okay, you can go forget about him and keep going, and go do. No, I'm doing
Mhm.
something that's impacting others. I'm doing something that's, my daughter can see the legacy of her father, because she was 3 when it happened.
Right.
You want me
Right.
to like have her completely forget about him? But it's also allowing the legacy of him to keep going, but know that I'm doing it for a purpose. It's a
Mhm.
purpose. And for years, I didn't understand what the chaplain said until I stopped asking questions. Why? Is
Mhm.
when God showed me, when He showed me what I needed to do, how I needed to do it, and where I
Yeah.
needed to go. And
Right.
that's what I got from it. And everything you said right there, it just warmed my heart, because it allowed me to really like, oh my, he's serious. I took in so much from what you said, because it is healing.
Yeah.
That's
We have
what
a
I've been doing.
responsibility not to do what people think we should do. We have a responsibility to do what it is that God desires for us to do, and for what we know God is calling us to do. So people
Mhm.
will always have an opinion. People will always have what they think is best. But at the end of the day, God's not going to ask me, well, what did your mom think was best for you to do?
Mhm.
God will ask me, Markeith, what was it that I inspired or asked you to do for me in the earth?
Mm.
And it's not going to be a good answer to say, well, mama told me to do this,
Mm.
or my friend told me that I should do this. No, what was your own personal conviction of what it is that you believe that you should be doing? That's what you have to give an account for.
That's right. That's
So
right.
good. So good. So good.
It's deep. This is deep. This is so good. Guys, I just want you to know that his words are very powerful, and it he really got my mind moving right now. I really hope he has your Markeith have you guys mind moving. It's it's a space of where you know what your purpose is. Be authentic and
Mm,
listen, and
mhm.
and and I really truly believe is being open and vulnerable to listen and hear what is being said. I have a mantra that I always say. I used to not share it. I would never share this mantra, but I've been sharing it a lot to help others like open up and allow themselves to listen. So
Mhm.
that's what I've been doing a lot with that mantra. I share that with you guys at the end. But
Yeah.
you
Let me
know,
say this real quick before we get to the
yes.
end, and that is that when we are moving in our own authenticity, when we step into our self-assurance and move in confidence, here's what I have learned will always happen. It will always cost you something.
Mm, mm,
That we can't become so attached to the status quo or to normal. Because when you decide to step in your authenticity, when you decide to fully follow the purpose, the calling for which you have been given, you got to understand, you got to know it will cost you something.
mhm.
Sometimes that's relationships. It may be your job.
Mhm.
It may be what you thought life should be. It may be uh, your church family. It may be, right? Many of us, and this is not a Bible study, but you know, God told Abraham to go from what he knew, family, friends, environment, atmosphere, to something new. And in order for Abram to become Abraham, it cost him something.
Mm.
So stop and think about that. That in order for Abram to become the father of many nations, it cost him to give up everything that he knew
Mm.
to grab hold of what he didn't know.
Mm.
What am I saying? I'm saying that somebody who might be listening to this live, you're holding on to what you knew when your next level, your blessing, your greater opportunities are in the what you don't know,
Mm.
what you can't see.
It's deep.
I'm not just talking to you all, I'm talking to myself too.
Yes, that's deep. I felt that. I felt that. I felt that. I I had to do that in my life
Yeah.
uh a lot. Like just distance and walk away, and when I lost something, just but then I started to see it as God is allowing something to happen, so I have to just listen, and there's signs that he give us, and if we don't catch those signs, you know, we may not have the opportunity if we don't catch the signs.
Yeah,
You
it's
know?
good.
So I really appreciate this. This is amazing. Like this is what I'm saying, guys. You never know what blessings you're gonna catch, right? And to be able to have this opportunity with Markeith again, and this time on a live, and to hear beautiful words that come out, like I wasn't lying when I said what I said, right? Um, Such a blessing today, and I know he blessed some of you guys' lives. If you guys was listening or you caught a replay, repeat, this is gonna bless your lives. These words. If everything wasn't for you, there's something. You got one or two things. You're gonna gain something from this, right? From all of this information. And I encourage you guys to register for the Visionaries Author Summit. As you can see, there are going to be some amazing speakers, and you get to hear what Markeith is bringing and how he's going to educate you guys on branding. Like I can't wait. I'm going to be there full force in it all next week. I'm there, and it's virtual, guys. I gave you my code to save 20%. Use the code. I'm passing my blessings to you. I'm passing the gems to you, and you even got some amazing words to sit in your spirit, right? Meditate on that, pray on that, and take that. Do you have any beautiful words, last minute words you just want to throw at them real quick
Well, I
before we?
always end all of my podcasts with my favorite quote. My really is the foundational words for why I built the business. And it's from the late Dr. Miles Monroe. He says that the greatest tragedy in life is life without purpose, life that simply has no direction. But this is my favorite part right here. However, the greatest failure in life is to be successful at the wrong assignment.
Mm.
We all have an assignment for which we are called to fulfill. I believe it's my purpose to help you to be in alignment with that assignment to create the life that you crave.
That was beautiful. I love you, Markeith. I love you, and I'm looking to have more conversations and more links and more connects with you. I'm not lying, because
Awesome.
you are
Awesome.
so amazing. You're a blessing. Um, And I'm going to share you guys a mantra. And a lot of you guys that know me, y'all know the mantra. But for those that don't know, I'm going to share this mantra with you guys. It's a prayer mantra. And here we go. Father God, allow me to see what I need to see. Think what you need me to think. Hear what you need me to hear. Speak what you need me to speak. Feel what you need me to feel. And move where and when you need me to move. People, may you be vigilant, self-disciplined, and well-balanced. And you, yes, you, continue to move with greatness. One love, peace, and blessings from the microphone check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Boom, boom. I see you guys later. Catch me tomorrow at noon. We're going to have an editor on deck. Oh, this is going to be amazing. Peace.